Welcome to the coaches. You know what time it is. Mic's on. Hello everyone. Welcome to Carrow Road. My name's Michael Bailey. This is PinkUn Matchday Live. These lovely coaches are about to head off to Sheffield, Bramall Lane in fact, for Norwich City's game against Sheffield United this afternoon. Dave Powell's waiting, and you're going to get on the coach, aren't you? Are you going?
Coach one, yeah. Coach one.
Coach one, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
You travelling in hope, expectation, fear?
Bit of all of that, I think. Fear probably comes to mind.
So what is it that they need to do differently? But bearing in mind they got done at Millwall, two more positive results.
They need to go out a bit more positive at the start and hopefully get a goal against them and not concede one, because if we concede one I think we might concede 3 or 4, but I think if we can get an early goal then obviously our defence has proven that it is at the moment a little bit more resident, but if it goes tits up then it could be 4 against.
Are we allowed that at 9? Yeah, I think we're allowed that. Dave, beep. That's fine. It's only a part of the anatomy. It's no problem. Right, as you can see, we've got all the coaches here. Dave, should you get on your coach? Are you a bit?
All right, I'm going to have another cigarette before I go.
All right, there we go. That's fine. Paddy's with us too. Dave Freezer's on the camera, so we'll get a word from Paddy in a moment. If you're on the coaches and watching on Facebook, drop us a message, say hello or whatever, and we'll be able to recount them all on here, and me and Paddy will discuss some of them in a bit as well. We should have some clips as well from Alex Tettey and Daniel Farke from yesterday's press conference too. Dave, should we try and get close up to the front of the bus and see if we can get some people to wave? This is Coach 4. Wave Coach 4. There we go. Look at the waving, Dave. Go on, get in there. Go on, Dave. Get on the coach. Go on, get on the coach, Dave. They're not going to drive off. Go on. Yeah, you go on. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Hello, Coach 4. Hey. Predictions?
4-1.
2. Norwich 4-1. Have a safe trip, everyone. Yeah. Give us a cheer. Something. Cheer. Hey! There we go. Listen to that. They are in high spirits. I hope they get a really good bus driver, because that's the sort of thing you want when you're making this trip down probably the A17, I guess. I don't know if the coaches have ventured away from the A17 or not yet, but away we go. Should we call Paddy in? Pad. Here's a man preparing. No cigarettes. Callum, do you want a word as well? What are you hoping for this afternoon?
Well, I'm hoping for a win, but with Oliveira out, who knows?
Is it as big a blow as everyone's making out? Because everyone seems quite...
Me personally, it's not a one-man team, but we do seem to rely on Oliveira's goals, so probably, yeah.
No booing of any players today, I hope. And Cam Jam will be playing?
Yeah, no, I'm not a boo man. I don't agree with that whatsoever.
Well, I hope you have a great trip. Would you take a goalless draw?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
That's the spirit today, boys and girls. That's the way. Thank you very much, Callum. So, yeah, we'll get Paddy in, shall we? Well, it's worth speaking to you, Paddy. Good morning. It's worth speaking to you when the coaches leave, because that's the money shot,
top
obviously.
Top work there, boys. Top work there. Thought you were going to go on there, I was going to travel on my own.
No. But we'll have to make sure we go on all the coaches over the course. So remember, we've been on Coach 4. We'll have to work our way through. I haven't seen how many coaches there are. I guess there's sort of 6 or 7, and you can kind of notice the continued loyal support. I suppose if we're turning up here in February and there's only one coach, we'll know it's wavering a little bit, but still.
No, well, yeah, I mean, that's one thing you wouldn't doubt. Obviously, I'm not a native to these parts, but having been here for more years than I care to mention now, the support here is phenomenal, really. You know, good times and bad. Not we're saying we're in a bad cycle at the minute, but it is a little bit of a holding pattern, and yet they'll still turn up in their droves. And that's why you just feel if they could, on the pitch, Stuart Webber, Daniel Farke, this squad of players, get it moving again. You know, it's all there. And to be fair, Stuart Webber acknowledges that. You know, I've had a lot of chats with him now since he came in, and he knows the potential of this place. If they can just get it moving again in a positive direction, you know, it could be really difficult to stop. And that's a good segue, because I think looking at Sheffield United from a distance, they seem to have maybe got that going themselves. You know, they've come up, won the title last year, they've continued that on this season, 4 games winning on the spin. Only conceded 1 goal at Bramall Lane this season, and they are a big club, you know, big club, big support, and they've got a guy there, Chris Wilder, who seems to be very impressively building something, and you know, it's not the worst sort of you know, example to copy, I think, at the minute, because you know, I think it's going to be a tough test today.
Yeah, it feels like essences of Norwich under Paul Lambert in a way. Yeah. I mean, there's no hiding what kind of club Sheffield United are. They're excellent, but the camera's gone, Dave. but the sound's still on, so people can still hear us. So keep talking about it. There seems no difference. It's one of those days, clearly. Don't miss the coaches. In terms of, reckon a bit of a similarity to what Norwich were doing under Paul Lambert, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair parallel. And as I say, it's not beyond the realms now. I saw a few quotes from Wilder pre-match that not wishing to play down the fact that they're third in the table, and people are starting to talk them up as potential back end of the season. I know it's early, but back end of the season in terms of promotion candidates. And on that basis, that I'm sure Lambert's squad, when they initially came up out of the League One, that seemed a very distant aim and probably an unrealistic ambition. But history proved otherwise, and there is no reason why they cannot do a Huddersfield and be in and around it, because clearly he's got something going there. See you later, boys.
See you, David. There goes the last boys. As I think the assistant coach has just gone. Let's have a look at some messages. Some messages we've got here. Jason Bond, another away day blowout. Well, yeah, could be. Andrew Potts, 2 clean sheets on the bounce. Why change the defence? We'll have a discussion about the formation maybe that we'll see today in a moment. Nick Deal has a 5-minute drive to Bramall Lane. You lucky guy. Safe journey, folks. Craig Brown, Hanley has to play. Pad?
Yeah, well, I said that yesterday. I just feel because of the type of game. Do you want me to pull out here? Because the stars are on the way.
Yeah, there we go. Get me out of the shot, mate.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, go on, Dave, get those on the way, mate.
There we go. There's some people waving. Let's see if Coach 3 wave a lot. Coach 3, yeah, look, he's got a thumbs up. Thumbs up, Coach 3, yes. There's a guy there very enthusiastic at the back. Here comes Coach 5. Let's see what Coach 5's waving game. Coach 5's waving game is like. It may be that they get to loiter. Well, they're playing the long game here. Late stop. We'll have to see what waving game they've got, Dave. Are you on me at the moment? Oh yeah, well, Coach 5's going to be playing catch up. It's exciting. Coach driver looks like he wants a word, but we won't speak to him. Anyway, yeah, Grant Hanley.
Yeah, no, I can see it. I can see it because everything you read about Sheffield United is going to be pressing, energy, tempo, work rate, and I translate that as balls into Norwich's box and plenty of them. So Hanley was bought as a more old school type of central defender, and I think they might need that quality today. So, but for me, within a 3, because then, as Farke, quite rightly said, it would be tough on a Zimmerman or a Tim Closer after 2 clean sheets. So keep them in there, slot him in there in a 3, 2 wing backs, Steeperman and Pinto, and then obviously then you've got a good solid base, I think.
Spencer Burton says 2-1 to Norwich. It's good to see some positivity. That's what we want. Adam Harvey, with Oliveira out now for a few weeks, was it a huge mistake not signing a striker in the window? I've seen that come up quite a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah. Well, ultimately, if Oliveira hadn't pulled his groin, then you wouldn't be saying that, would you? So you're damned if you do. I mean, ultimately, as the window reached its climax and Norwich's defensive woes increased, the priority was back end of the pitch. But that said, he maintained consistently that they felt in, and we'll probably see it today, Watkins, Josh Murphy and Jerome plus Oliveira, they're well covered. So we'll put that theory to the test starting today, I think.
That is very true. Nick Deal says need Hanley to mark Clayton Donaldson, I think. He says that. Is Clayton injured? Is he fit?
I think there's a debate. I think it was touch and go, Wilder was saying yesterday, but I do recall when he was here for Birmingham down here a couple of seasons ago, he basically ran them ragged that day, and clearly him and Sharp, that looks to be the makings of a very good partnership. So yeah, that is for me the key area of this game. If City's defensive 2/3 handle their front 2, we might get some joy.
Well, there we go. Coach 5 is off. There's a couple of thumbs up from the back of the coach. That's good. I hope the guys who came off are all right. Okay, well, now they've all gone. Shall we hear a little bit from Daniel Farke and Alex Tettey from yesterday's press conference?
It was for sure for Mali nice and a big honor to be together with his national squad, but yeah, to be fair, he was 12 days away from us and didn't have 1 minute in this national games. And yeah, I had Cameron here and I had Yannick here, and they were able to train and really focus. And yeah, we could especially work on the training pitch also for our offensive players to be good in shape and for defending, and that was a little bit the problem for Mali. So he wasn't able to join us in this area, and yeah, I had to wait. So but in general, I won't tell too much about tomorrow, but you can be sure Marley will sit in our coach this afternoon, so he's in the squad.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Since I've been in this club, there's been several managers. I've always said they need someone with a clear philosophy of how he wants this club to play football. I think he has that. His methods are different. It's new because we are not used to having a foreign manager since I've been here. But his philosophy is good, and people mention time. Hopefully he will get that to continue what he's trying to do. It's not going to happen overnight. There's not going to be pretty football games at Carrow Road all of a sudden. It's going to take time, and hopefully he can get that time. But in the meanwhile, it's about 3 points.
I warned a lot before Burton because they had bad results before, and I knew they were there with a big aggressiveness. I'm not too concerned that Sheffield had this good result in the last games, because it could be that they are a little bit too confident and a little bit too proud of the season right now, and we're not going to drive to Sheffield and think, okay, hopefully it's just a loss with a few goals or whatever. No, we are there for points, and I'm totally convinced that we are able to win some points there, and that's what we're going to do, because it would mean a big step for us.
There we go, there's those two. The coaches have now gone, it's all very quiet, and the sun's come out.
Wonderful.
The coaches have missed out on that one, but there we go. Right, what we like to, we're going to move around. Good camera work, Dave. Well done. We're going to have a look now at the formations. A couple of ideas I've got for today, and then you can put me right or wrong, Pad. But let's go with yours first, shall we? Well, roughly yours. I've teed this up as a 3-5-2, but I think you've done it slightly differently in the paper.
Yeah, only probably Madison/Tribal, but other than that, as I sort of alluded to a little bit earlier there, mainly on the basis that apparently Sheffield United go in with a 3 and a 5.
Mr. Coach, look! There we go, we got some waves. There's a sneaky Coach 6. How about that?
Put his foot down.
He probably likes it that way, yeah, the racing coach. I'm sure they do everything safely at Sanders.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, no, just looking at Sheffield United, they go 3-5-2. So I think it's probably very important to match them up if possible, and then back your players to be better than their players in those individual, as the head coach himself says, the 1v1 duels. So I think it's tailor-made for Hanley today in the 3. Yeah, as I said, Stiepermann seems to have edged that husband on that left-hand side at this stage. Pinto, well, that's a given down there, fitness-wise permitting, and it's just how he mixes it up in that sort of central area. Alex Tettey, we spoke to him in person, and also what his head coach said, he seems physically able to go again, 3 games in 7 days or so. We know Oliveira's out, so that's Jerome all day long, and then it's just whether, you had a good conversation with him about Marley Watkins. I got the sense that he might be bringing him straight back into his plans, maybe dip Josh out, and as I say, then it's, can Norwich's 3-5-2 get the better of Sheffield's 3-5-2?
Now, I've had a go as well. Now, I don't know how likely this is, but I like this. This is a 3-4-3, which I think is one of the systems they worked on in the summer. But you've got a front 3 there of Watkins, Jerome and Murphy, and arguably a defensive 7 that can just look after Sheffield United. And if they do want to play with a bit of pace and on the counter, I just think that offers quite a bit. But, what do you think?
Yeah, no, spot on. Yeah, ultimately, with a tweak, that's pretty similar to the other formation, isn't it? You still got your defensive 3, that's your base basically, and then it's just maybe in possession as opposed to out of possession. How you sort of rearrange them there. I certainly like the idea of the pace, because I think, by all accounts, Norwich are going to probably be on the back foot for long spells, and if you've got that out ball, rather than trying to intricately play it through the thirds, which is obviously fraught with danger, particularly away from home. I'd even throw Wiltshire into the mix there as well. Direct, we saw in that little cameo midweek what he can offer. So I wouldn't be unsurprised if I saw that, but I just think to start with 3 at the top end of the pitch is probably a little bit brave against seemingly one of the best home sides in the division.
Spot on, but then I'm not a football manager, and that's probably why. Do you want to give us a prediction before we get Dave in?
You don't really want to hear it today, I don't think. We just spoke to Dave there. He wasn't overly hopeful, was it, at the outset? I just can't shake. Yes, I know we're coming off the back of 2 home clean sheets, but I just can't shake what we saw at Millwall, what we saw at Villa, and I think Sheffield United are better than them two at this current stage of the season. So it's going to be very tough. Probably 2-1 defeat for me.
There we go. We'll see. We'll probably take it to a degree. Pad, do you want to switch over with Mr. Freezer? We'll do a bit of camera work. There we go. Oh, glorious now. If it's like this, we'll be all right. Over the trips, but it hasn't really made for happy viewing on the road when it's been sunny, has it, so far this season?
At all, no.
Apart from Fulham. No, let's not forget Fulham. There was a point of Fulham, but
it was nice and warm that day.
It was nice and warm that day. We've got this issue of four goals conceded twice in the last 2 away games, haven't we? And I guess that's why fans would probably be happy with a goalless draw today.
Yeah, as opposed to Tuesday night, definitely, yeah. I'm not feeling too negative this morning, to be honest. I mean, before we went to Millwall, I was quite pessimistic about it. I had a feeling they weren't ready for that one. But this one, I feel like on Tuesday night, it was almost like a cup game. You know, Burton had no pressure on them at all. They just came here, parked the bus and tried to get a point, and Norwich couldn't break them down. They didn't have the quality on the night. Whereas today, I feel like there's not really that much pressure on Norwich. They are probably expected to lose, and that might just play in their favour a little bit. I quite like the 3-4-3 formation you've played there, and particularly that you've chosen there, Josh, Jerome and Watkins as a front three. I could see that nicely. I just wonder whether he might even go 4-3-3 and have Tribal, Tettey and Reed as a real sort of defensive midfield, and then you can similarly, like you say, just leave those front three to try and cause some damage. But we'll see.
We will see, and it's an interesting point. I mean, me and Pad do think there may be a 3 at the back, but likewise you said, and Daniel, to be fair, kind of said it on Friday, they don't really want to disrupt the back 4 if they can help it, because they have been building on that. Yeah,
it just that has just started to settle, hasn't it? It would be harsh on Crystal Zimmerman to drop him out, but I think you've got to bring Hanley in today just because of the experience. It's going to be a pressurised environment, and Stiepermann and Pinto are both starting to sort of hit their straps a bit. So, it's a difficult one to change it, but you can also see the sense in maybe playing that 3 at the back, because they're going to be lively, no doubt about it.
They are definitely going to be lively. First time to Bramall Lane, as I do keep saying it, sorry. But it's not very often I get to a new ground, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. And I'm afraid it's quite ramshackle where we work. I don't know what it's like for the away fans, but
I hope it's not as bad as Barnsley.
Well, yeah, they have power at Barnsley now. So that's it. Oh, prediction.
I've got a funny feeling of a 2-2. But I don't know, it could easily go completely the other way and they could lose 4-0, couldn't they? It's a really tough one to call today. But 2-2 I'm going 2-2.
For. There you go, Norwich to win 1-0. There you go, you heard it here first. That's my prediction. I don't often do that, so what the hell. Right, cheers Dave, thanks Pad, top camera work as always. Don't forget PinkUn.com/live will be where we are across the game, during the game, before the game, after the game. We'll have the team news for you live as well, and of course all the reaction afterwards. But that's it for now. Have a safe trip if you're heading up, and if you're hanging around at home, PinkUn.com/live, and we'll let you know how it all unfolds at Bramall Lane. Until then, a very goodbye.